The Book of Llandaff is the Chartulary, or register book of the Cathedral Church of Llandaff, a 12th-century compilation of documents relating to the history of the diocese of Llandaff in Wales. It is written primarily in Latin but also contains a significant amount of Old and Middle Welsh names and marginalia. History. The work was compiled around 1125 by an unknown official at Llandaff Cathedral. It contains numerous records covering 500 years of the diocese's history, including the biographies and lives of Saints Dubricius, Taylor and Theodosius, and, most importantly for historical research, 149 land grant charters. These Llandaff charters give details of property transfers to the cathedral from various local kings and other notaries. For the late 6th to the late 11th century, the manuscript includes the document Ffraint Taylor in the original Middle Welsh with facing Latin version, an important source for the study of early Middle Welsh, although transcribed in the beginning of the 12th century. The orthography suggests a considerably earlier provenance. The book was compiled from a pre-existing collection of 9 charter groups, originally entered in Gospel books, and appears to have been produced to help in Bishop Urban's diocesan boundary disputes with the dioceses of St. David's and Hereford. Many of the supposed early charters have therefore been edited to serve Llandaff's interests. They are also undated and many are corrupt. However, through her exhaustive study of these documents, Professor Wendy Davies has reconstructed much of the original text and calculated probable time frames. This work has been accepted by most historians, but criticized in some non-academic quarters. The manuscript fell into the hands of the Davies family of Llandaff in the 17th century, until eventually being acquired by the National Library of Wales, where it is known as Mississippi 17110E. It is a double-columned 168-page volume bound between oak boards. Binding. The Book of Llandaff is bound in thick, square-edged oak boards with sunken center panels. The lower board, which is probably the 12th century original, bears evidence of having been covered in a thin layer of silver and is all that remains of the earliest binding. The gilt bronze figure of Christ in Majesty that adorned the lower cover was a mid-13th century addition which has, since 1981, been kept separate from the volume in its own box. Fragments of the thin silver plate are preserved along with the figure, and nail holes in the board indicate that had once been completely covered. The outline of a mandorla with associated holes in the sunken panel suggests that an earlier ornament was attached to it. In 1696, Robert Davies of Gwiseni had the Book of Llandaff rebound. There is an inscription on the upper board formed of small brass nails that bear a few traces of enamel. The inscription reads, Librum hunc temporis indurias parsum novanta quotegmin muneri curvit, R.D. a degree 1696. The gilt bronze Christ in Majesty measures 17.1 by 11.4 by 3 centimeters. Neil Stratford, keeper of medieval and later antiquities at the British Museum, described the Llandaff figure as a unique survival of major English bronze casting of the third quarter of the 13th century.